Do you ever thought how the big organizations are protecting and securing their networks and servers? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to play defensive in an offensive world. Hello geeks, this is Mir Kashyap, recently working on an open source project for cybersecurity. Because why not? Most of the security providers are talking about the big securities in their networks, like IBM, who call their SIEM solution as QRadar, Microsoft calls their SIEM as Sentinel, and Splunk is also in the market playing a big role. But they charges actually a huge amount or premium, which makes them costly to being protected. The SIEM is basically a technology to collect all types of activities happening on the network premises, records in log form, and presenting those logs, activity logs, in more readable format for security analysts to analyze the situation. SIEM is even used in banking sectors like HDFC, Axis Bank, etc. Even HDFC developed their own AI build SIEM solution to to guard their servers and data from attackers. Axis uses next-gen SIEM solution to protect their servers. So I have built my own SIEM solution on my own created virtual lab, which is based on open source. So I don't have to pay any amount to use SIEM features. With SIEM, which uses AI and learn from history records, which has many defensive features can be played like security monitoring, real-time incident detection and response, forensic analysis, threat intelligence, MITRE attack, and many more. I've even set up a honeypot in my virtual lab, which I'm gonna use as target and perform offensive attack on that vulnerable machine using my own Kali Linux. So let's get started. Here is one instance of my virtual hacking lab, which I have built particularly for this project where multiple VMs are running here. We just hit this IP address which lands us on SIEM login interface, which is running on Docker containers. Talking about Dockers, which is a tool used in DevOps, basically to use OS level virtualization to deploy and test, even run software and services with faster access than general VMs that we use in our system or from server. I have set up Docker in one of my VM hosted in my virtual lab, in which I have planted the entire SIEM solution, the Kibana, the Elasticsearch, Logstash, and even the Wazoo Manager. Talking about Elasticsearch, it is a main console dealing with the entire system, where Kibana is an interface module to display the reports as an output, and Logstash uses a pipeline to store all the activities in a log form. And where Wazoo Manager is a server-based software which integrated with Kibana to show the reports. If I show you, here is my running Docker containers in the server. Here is the Kibana, here is the Elasticsearch, and here we log in. I must tell that installing these services or softwares in Docker containers is kind of complex, because I have faced many crashes and errors. Even a single change in YAML file can lead me to crashing of containers. I don't even find the perfect documentation or perfect steps to perform this installation. Now logging in, we see the Wazoo Manager and its module. Here we can see I have added an agent already here, which is our honeypot in the system, in the network. Here is the honeypot, and I have actually installed a Wazoo agent in our honeypot server, which attracts hackers, because I have actually opened all the ports to make it vulnerable. And even if an attacker wants to attack on this system, they can find this server's IP address in the Sodan website or some other vulnerable finding sites. Moving to the honeypot's agent, in security events dashboard, you can even see the authorization failures are only 194 and authentication success is 1. I have already performed an attack on this honeypot server for testing purpose. Now I'm gonna perform a brute force attack using Hydra tool from my Kali Linux machine, same I have set up in virtual lab. So let's perform the attack. And before attacking, I have to tell you one thing, that when we are installing Wazoo agent in our Ubuntu client, the steps you find in the documentation or even in the Wazoo website, that you have to only install the package and that's it. But in some cases, I have to suffer a lot and I have even have to edit the osec.conf file. So you also have to edit that file to authenticate your manager's IP address. In my case, it's my, as you can see, this is my manager's IP address. So now coming back to the attack, let me perform an attack from my Kali machine. We are going to use Hydra. We have actually set up two text file, one user names and password text. So we are going to use these users text, and for password we'll use the password text. Now here we have to pass the server's address. In my case, it's 192, this Honeypot server, and we are going to pass the port from which we want to attack. Now, as you can see, we have found 0 valid password, but after refreshing the in our SIEM solution, we can see the updated attempts. As you can see, authentication failure attempts is increased. To solve these small or authentication failure attempts, we'll just have to edit a configuration file from management and configuration, and we are going to use the active response. We'll just grab the rule ID of that particular attack that we have seen right now. Whoa, it's increased by so many attempts. Now, in event section, we'll see rule ID of authentication failure. These attacks are performed by our server system. You just have to copy the rule ID 5760. This command will actually drop the user access to our system or our server. This gives me a chance in short period of time. I can attempt multiple times to guess the password. So that's why we are putting here the timeouts of 1000 seconds, which will delay the process of attacking and decrease the number of authentication failure attempts. With these line of bunch of codes, we can even decrease the authentication failure attempts. Now saving it and restarting the manager to reconfigure the settings. As you can see, manager was restarted. Now if we see in our Honeypot security event, the authentication failure attempts is decreased. Even I can show you this attack is taking so much time to perform and to complete it. So we'll just stop it and we'll do simple. This showing the firewall drop connection that is going to be limited for 1000 seconds. So I have recently logged in from my weblist interface as root, and after refreshing the Vasu manager in Honeypot security events, I can see the authentication success is 3, where authentication failure is decreased. Now doing some security monitoring through event section, we can see that the rules ID 5760's attacks are now decreased in a huge amount in this, as you can see in this count graphs. Even we can use this SIEM solution to locate these. Even these are the parameters to define the logs data. As I can show you, one as geolocation country name and even the city name also. These city names and geolocations of country name is coming from the IP addresses. These IP addresses are actually converted into latitude and longitude locations, and with that reference they actually locate the actual country name or the city name. As you can see, this is the this attack is performed from Japan, Tokyo. Attacks are coming from India, Thailand, United States, Thailand, everywhere from the world. Even we can set up world map in which the counts of attack can be presented with the circles or the different colors. That is also part of SIEM solution. In the dashboard, you can see that. Moving to the integrity monitor, these all are important in aspects of cybersecurity, to check the logs and to perform some monitoring and to according to these monitoring, you can even perform some particular response. Now the vulnerabilities of my this honeypot system is like 432 points are high. These are the severe conditions, and you can read about these CV generated MITRE logs. 21 options are critical, like these libraries or these versions are in critical stage, and it is defined into 2016 by CVE. Even we can observe the MITRE attack here for agent ID3, that is our honeypot. There are multiple presentation over here, and if we go to intelligence of it, there are so many techniques, mitigations, and the ways the attack can be performed. So you can read all of them. Even it is helpful to develop your skills and knowledge. In framework section, you can see which type of attacks or which type of techniques used on your system. So password guessing is one of them, and the SSH attack is so much in the number, and even disable or modify tools. Even you can see the file changing logs, and if the file system is integrated with this manager, then it will appear. If we perform some sudo, now you can see the sudo option or sudo caching techniques is increased by 1. So these are all the logs recording form, and you can even learn all of these techniques or develop your skills in this. You can even use password cracking, keychain, key logging is also there, network sniffing. Even you can perform a man in the middle attack in this honeypot server, from which you can grab all the data. If I can show you from my Hydra attack, we have cracked the password, and actually I know the password, that's why I've performed this. And you can see one target successfully completed and one valid password found. And now in security events, you can see the access of that particular event. Here you can see authentication success is 9. And if we see the events section in this honeypot 57115, our Kali Linux IP address is get cached here with its longitude and latitude, and authentication status is success. I want to get into the system we entered in our honeypot, and with this access, a simple hacker can perform some man-in-the-middle attack or even network sniffing, and even install a third-party software. Even someone can set up a backdoor inside this honeypot server, which can be hazardous. Even I can put some git clone command from GitHub, which pull our malicious code and just execute it. Their possibilities are so much that even a single attacker can exploit anyone. Even we can use drive-by download method. So whenever someone attacks on this particular IP address, malicious executable file is downloaded and executed itself, which is dangerous for any agent. But using same solution, we can even set up that for VirusTotal. I can set up the VirusTotal API from here, threat detection and response, which enables us. I have to set up it, but I'm just telling you that if this VirusTotal is enabled, then even you can protect your agent's system from malicious files. VirusTotal can scan the entire file, and then it will report to the SIEM solution. In MITRE attack, so much to learn. Click on any of them, and you'll going to learn about particular thing, right? So this is all about my project on open source SIEM solution set up on Docker. I have actually set up this on Docker and entire solution in my cloud server, virtual server. For installing guide, I can refer you to read the documentations of Elasticsearch on Docker and Wazoo Manager to install on Docker, which will help you. But I can't guarantee you that you will get success in it, because with every updated version, they actually update some kinds of instance. Like in past 7.0 Elasticsearch, they have updated. They have the file .conf file in their different path, and in updated version of 8.0, it will shift it to different path. So you have to update it in that particular way. So it is complex, but you can try, you can give it a try, and I can guarantee you that after deploying it, after installing it from in your particular server, you'll have that confidence in cybersecurity to stop any cyber attacks or cyber threats. This is just an example, and possibilities are many. So keep watching, keep trying, and keep protecting. Thank you for watching this video. And if you like this video, give a thumbs up and comment down your thoughts.